Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by TheLines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by Nate Weitzer. He's on the East Coast. We are looking at Monday in the NBA playoffs here. We've got two games on the slate. In this one, we're taking a look at the first one of the night. We've got the Heat looking to stave off elimination, or being swept anyway, against the Cavs here. They are still at home for game 4. We're taking a look at best bets, got some player props in here as well. So make sure to subscribe to that channel. Also got the episode up for the other game on the night, and we're bringing both of those, or at least game by game episodes to you guys here moving forward throughout these playoffs. So Nate, let's go ahead and get right into what we've got here for that first game of the night, Cavs and Heat.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this look, actually. I mean, it's Heat over 48.5 for their team total, but really over 102 combined, because like you said, they're trying to stave off elimination. They're not going to do that by completely stopping this Cavs offense, or probably even slowing it down. Like, the Cavs have been absolutely eviscerating them, especially early. So I do expect a little bit of an offensive bounce back from the Heat, but I expect, I'm not taking the spread because I think the Cavs could easily put up 59 plus. I mean, they put up 62 plus in all three in the first half this series. They have a 139 offensive rating in those. And you could see during their 18-0/33-5 run, where they completely took control of that game 3, just the ball movement, the ball was popping, everything was a dunk or a wide open shot. Like, they've completely solved whatever the Heat want to throw at them. And Spo will have some adjustments, but I think they'll be able to solve it on the fly. And then on the other side, though, I mean, Cleveland was totally fine just giving up wide open threes, and the Heat missed them for a while, but they still wound up shooting 45% in the first half. If not for 7 turnovers in the first quarter, they're probably getting to this total. I mean, what they wound up with 42 despite the 18-0 long stretch there. Now desperate to avoid a sweep. I mean, they've gone over this team total in 8 straight series finales prior to Boston, yes, ushering them out of the playoffs last year. You look at Cleveland, some of their elimination games. I mean, they went to 110 in Orlando. They went to 110 in game 4 in Orlando when they were eliminated by the Knicks 2 years ago in a series that often did not hit 200. I think we got down to totals of 191 in that series, and they were still 112 in the first half. So it's just a playoff trend where the first half more resembles a regular season matchup. There were generally shootouts between these teams in the regular season this year and in recent years. And I mean, you get a little bit of value just attacking the first half total and not thinking about how the game might evolve into the second half.
Yeah, or devolve, however you look at it in the second half. So yeah, I think the first half is the way to attack points in this one. If you're going to go that route, and I mean, at the end of the day, your main points here are: is Miami going to come along for the ride? And if you think so, then I don't think anybody's worried about the Cavs offense. Darius Garland or no Darius Garland, who's still questionable in this one. But I'm going to go ahead and take a player prop for the first one. It's going to seem a little bit out of left field, but we've just gone too far now. I'm going to take over for Kel'el Ware, over 5.5 points. And look, I mean, it's all about minutes, because he's still only getting 18, 19, maybe 20, right? That's what we know he's getting. I think that's his floor, though. I think there is a world where we have some outs to the over here. A lot of the conversation after the game, Spo was asked about it. Twitter was asking about it, whatever that means. Why is Kel'el Ware with a plus, the dude who's got the best plus minus of any of the starters? Why is he still not getting any time so that you can play? I mean, they were trying out Pelle Larsson and Jovic, and it was just so obvious so early that neither of those guys felt comfortable on the floor out there. Jovic didn't look comfortable even when he scored 11 points in the other game, in game 2, when he came back from injury and still got the minutes. So this would be the last card that I think you can play. And the Ware Duncan minutes, when those two guys have been out there together, you throw Duncan on there, they've been really good with that dribble handoff. It's also created open shots for Ware, who's now shooting 75% from 3 on very limited attempts in this series. But give him a chance, man. Give him a shot. And even if this we don't get those outs of him getting maybe 5 more minutes, getting him up to 25 or so, if you look at the games where he's playing about 18 minutes, maybe you give him a time filter range here of 14 games where he's played 14 to 18 minutes or so, and so he's only at about 16 minutes per game in these contests. Well, there's been 18 games where he's played that amount of time. He's over 14 of them, right? 7.2 points per game. 5.5 is just really low. I mean, even in the games where he's averaging these 16-minute times on the court, he's still looking at about 5 to 6 shots, right? And if he's shooting most of them close to the basket, he's on the end of the business end of those lobs coming in as well, and like that's where he's getting his points from. As Jared Allen comes up to go ahead and try to block the guys that get into the lane, that's left quick. That's how he's scoring. Period. End of story. He's either getting the putback, or he's getting the lob, or he's wide open for 3. All of those are good looks, even in limited volume there. So I just think at 5.5, you can still take advantage of this if he still plays the same amount of minutes that he's been at.
Yeah, and Spo seemed to jump off his Haywood Highsmith fixation, after the first couple games, and was mixing and matching a little bit more. So, I mean, if the rookie proves that he can play, it gets off to a good start here, then certainly he'll earn more minutes. But I mean, if he gets off to a good start, he's probably got 6 points anyway, because the Cavs are probably leaving him wide open for 3, like they did several guys, basically just like, don't let Hero beat us, and anybody else can just fire away. That's been their defensive approach. But Mobley, Evan Mobley, I'm going under 12.5 rebounds and assists, because he's head to head with Bam here, and it's been tough to board in that matchup. It's been particularly tough when in that last game where Bam was stepping out and went 4 for 7 from 3 because of the defensive approach that I'm talking about, where the Cavs are like, yeah, just let him fire. So we're only talking about 6.3 boards on 12 chances in this series. Went down to a 46% rebound chance rate in game 3. And if you look in the regular season, he's only at 3.7 potential assists in 3 matchups with Miami. Granted, one he left after 12 minutes with the injury, but we're talking about a 5.2 assist to pass ratio, which would rank 11th on the roster. So that doesn't account for volume, right? It's just like the percentage of his assists that are, passes that are leading to assists against this Spoelstra defense. If Darius Garland is out, he's still in the last in game 3 was behind Strus, Jerome, and Donnie by a long shot in terms of playmaking, passing, potential assists. And it's just gone consistently under. So I think the plus money here is gone now, and it's more like minus 110, 115, because he's gone under in 6 straight playoff games now. And we're only talking about 9.4 RA in those, and really he's gone under in 10 of his last 11. If you exclude that Boston series where he was, having a field day against Ancient Al with no Porzingis in that one, and consistently put up big, well-rounded lines. But Orlando, similar to Miami in terms of just bringing you into the mud, only 1.7 assists per game in all 7 of those games against Orlando last year, consistently under. So I think Miami, with their backs against the wall, are going to muck it up enough so that he's not getting that many dimes, and the boards have not been easy to come by for him.
Yeah, totally agree with all that. And yeah, him being pitted against Bam sucks for him. There's no question. That is like probably the worst matchup for him that I could think of in terms of a guy that can mirror what he does physically, cerebrally, and a guy that is just, a dog on defense, as we know. So like, yeah, there's few guys in the league that would be a worse matchup for Mobley than him. And if Ware does get a few more minutes, when Ware is on the floor, Allen is on him. There might be some times where like Allen ends up on Mobley, but really when it comes to, the defensive side, Mobley, Bam is on Mobley. That limits those, those offensive rebounds for sure. And then it definitely, it obviously limits his ability to get those putbacks or kickouts for the dimes. But yeah, with Darius Garland out this season, there's been like 7 games I think he's played without Darius, and actually 5 of them without Darius and with Donnie. And when he's in those situations, he's at like 1.5 assists per game. So he's clearly looking to more score at that point, as Donnie's clearly the more lead facilitator. So is Ty Jerome when he gets on the floor. Even Max Strus putting up some dimes and getting involved in the pick and roll, but not really Mobley on the playmaking side of things. So let's go ahead and close it out with our boy. What are we doing here? Like I saved Davion Mitchell for last because I didn't want to, wanted to save the surprise, I guess, again, but 11.5 points, basically even there. And then you're talking about 15 plus still gets you about 2-1. So we're just going back to it, man. Look, he has been hot. If this is the last game, or if there's more than one game, I should say, after this one, then maybe there's one of the next 2 he's not capable of keeping the same sort of streak going. But if he's going to be at 34 to 38 minutes and he's going to put up the 10 to 12 shots in these games, then I'm going to feel good about him continuing to do what he has done Now, in 13 of 14 games, when he plays with Wiggs, Hero, Bam, and he's still getting 34 plus minutes, now he's at 16.4 points per game. And even if you talk about how often he's gone over the 15 plus points, he's now done that in 9 of 14 games where, like I said, 34 minutes playing with all the starters that are going to be available here for the Heat. And then you tack on the fact that he's usually getting an easier matchup on defense, right? Like Strus is at this point their best starting wing defender. He just stays on Hero the whole time. And then you get some form of Darius Garland if he's in, maybe Donnie, although Donnie and Andrew Wiggins have just been guarding each other. I think Atkinson likes the fact that if he keeps Donnie on Wiggs, first of all, Wiggs hasn't done anything, so he's fine with that matchup. And furthermore, it just makes it easier to not get lost in transition, right? When we talk about Donnie guarding the same guy that's guarding him. So I love the matchup, really. Just continuing to get the best matchup for Davion is going to be a big reason why, as long as he's getting the minutes, which we know he's getting, I'm going to keep going to the points. The assists, I mean, they're doable. I'm definitely not saying like it's a bad game to have the assists. He still had a ton of touches, ton of potentials last game. He just ended with 5 because this team is cold in general. And I don't know if I trust the shooting outside of him at this point. I mean, he had 15 potentials last game. He's been running cold, essentially getting a lot of potentials, not getting the actual materialized assists. And I just don't really want to mess with that against a Cavs team that's leaving him open more than anything.
Yeah, I mean that's again what I was talking about, is that they're willing to leave anybody but Hero open, and so Davion's gonna, I mean the 1 or 2 threes too. It's plus money for 2 threes again. I mean the 2, he's been shooting a high percentage because he's been open, and I mean he's going to continue to score. I saved this for you specifically. I know you want to name, put this in the middle, your daughter's middle name here, Davion. So, by all means, let's get one more cash out of this guy before the Heat potentially bow out of the playoffs.
Yeah, but at least they've got potentially a very Heat-esque guard moving forward for them in the future. But that is all the time we have for you in this one. Like we said, make sure to subscribe to that channel so you can also check out the other episode we have up for the second game on Monday night. Until we see you next, happy betting.